Hey guys, just wanted to do my review of Arrow Season 6, Episode 17, Brother in Arms. Obviously you notice I haven't put up put up a little poster for the Arrow just because it seems like I'm really getting persecuted with, more and more copyright claims. Like first my videos are getting, reaction videos are getting blocked when I put, even though I'm doing it within the fair within the fair use policy, even though other YouTubers seem to be getting away with it, and now it's like they're making copy, and now it's like YouTube CW making copyright claims on just when I put up the posters, just so they're putting up ads. Even when I lost in spite of the fact that I lost the ability to monetize ads, and they just seems, and now but now it just seems like any like ad revenue is going to the WB. So I'm just gonna stop doing that because I figured, if I can't make money from if small channels can't make money from YouTube, and I get singled out, why should they? But anyway, this is an episode I was a little reluctant to. I wasn't like too excited about it, just from the promos where it basically just shows. It basically looked like Oliver and Diggle are basically getting into a whole fist fight and just throwing each other around the Arrow cave, just over, not Arrow just not giving basically just not giving the Green Arrow suit back to Diggle, and Felicity kept pushing him to try to, address that with him and stop like beating around the bush with it. And and he didn't, and try to explain, instead of just telling him that he's not giving him back the hood, give him a legit reason, and he just says that, oh, he's an adult, he has to get over it. And then when he does try to apologize for it, he just basically just goes into talking about how after some conversation with Thea, he felt like he realized that he can't let go the green he can't let go of the hood. It's what makes him the Green Arrow identity is what brings out the best in him and what feels like it makes him his best self. But you can tell that the entire conversation just seemed like very like one sided, because he didn't even seem to ask about um he didn't even seem like bothered. He or like really ask about, try to like, he only seemed to scratch the surface. And he talked about, you know what, you're not getting the suit, these are my reasons, I hope you're cool with it. He doesn't seem to try to like explore, why it's bother, ask him why it bothers him so much, and really try to explore, and really makes much effort to go into it. I mean, he asks, it's like, why are you making such a big deal? It's just a piece of it's just a piece of clothing. And Diggle just tries to, just kind of grin and bear it, and then he starts having like one-on-one conversations with Lila back at Argus, and especially he has multiple ones. Like one's like why he's getting bent out. He's questioning like why he's really getting bent out of shape over it. And then there's another instance in where Felicity tracks down one of Diaz's dealers, who's been distributing the Vertigo that's been put back out on the streets thanks to Captain Hill from the SCPD. And Diggle gets like so heated about it and just like start yelling at him and threatening to shoot the dealer that he gets like hot headed and not listening to Green Arrow Oliver when he tells him to stand down, and it leads to his girlfriend shooting the dealer's girlfriend shooting the dealer, and then Spartan having to tranquilize her, and then Diggle was just yelling at him. It's like, that, if you didn't make him talk, that if he, it's like, oh, it's always like your way, like we would have talked and we would have done it your way, but no, we have to do it your way. We had to do it your way, just like we always have to do. And then Diggle storms off. He has another conversation with his wife, with Lila, about why he's getting so pissed about it, and then they both kind of realize that when they start talking about everything that's been going on from Diaz, the his takeover, they Diggle, because they both realize, and Diggle expresses this to him in like a very intense but well acted scene by both David Ramsey and Stephen Amell, that he feels like that everything, that the whole city's just gone to hell just because of Oliver's leadership as of late. Like ever since becoming, the mayor and becoming and taking an active role as a father to William, and talking about how it's like he spread himself so thin that even though he's become a better person, he's become a worse leader, and now like Diaz is like pretty much taking over the whole city by paying off having eyes and ears in all levels of government, and maybe a bit a better leader that he never would have alienated the B team. And I give him the point when I'll give him points for maybe Diggle pointing out that um, putting the team under surveillance might have been crossing the line, but now the fact that it's like all of a sudden he's like agreeing with the B team to the point where it's like, oh, they should have gone to like save Vigilante instead of go after the bomb, and it's like you were agreeing, and it's like even Dick Oliver points out that you were on my side about this. You were on my side about the whole thing. You never, and they just have like both valid points when like Diggle keeps talking about how like even Diggle like makes a low blow of saying like he leaves a trail of bodies, and then Oliver says that it's like, oh, and then Oliver points out that it's like, oh, Diaz, stuff that's been going on with Diaz happened during your tenure as the Green Arrow, and you were buying drugs from him. You're the one that helped fund, you basically, and in ergo helped fund his operations, and how you had this whole like tremor in your arm that you didn't say anything to the team about. You almost got how he almost had to dive after Renee and almost got him, and he almost got killed the in the season premiere, and then Diggle called him out like, oh, putting him in the hospital, and Oliver has to defend himself about his actions to both him and Dinah when he gets called out on it, saying it's like, oh, he gave Renee a chance, and he did. It's like he came after him with a gun. He came after him with like an axe, for God's sake, in that fight. And they both have valid points, but then it just feels like, and then Oliver makes this low blow saying that saying, oh, at least my trail of bodies didn't include my own brother, and that's when they start like punching one another and just like tackling each other and throwing around each other, and just getting this huge brawl until like Felicity comes in to see what the hell, comes in and actually a voice of reason and tells them it's like the city's falling apart, get your heads out of your asses. And so they're able to, cool down enough that they're able to go in and, blow up, work together. They're able to work together as a team. It's not like this mid-season finale when there's like squabbling among the teammates trying to rescue Quentin. It's more coordinated effort where it's like they're able to watch each other's back and successfully blow up Diaz's drug lab, even though you later find out he's able to save one vial. But it gets to the point where Diggle can't stop thinking about all the stuff that he said to Oliver, even though they try to apologize to one another, and he still stands by the fact that, oh, Oliver's become a better person but a worse leader, and and Diggle decides that in order for him to be his best self, that it can't be with be around Oliver, and so he leaves and takes Lila's offer to go work at Argus again. And this is the thing about people, and I see people online saying that it's like, oh, we want to have like more than go past season 7, but it's like we kind of like, I felt like we've kind of been here before, where it's like the team like just like splits up and it's like nobody left but Oliver and Felicity, and Diggle has to take a leave, so it feels a little tad repetitive. And just other stuff that happens in the episode are Dinah takes a group of like clean cops that are able to bust Anatoly, who was presumably let go from custody off screen, but and then when they when he's taken in again, he taunts Oliver by saying Diaz has people everywhere in all levels of government. And then when the DA comes in and says that they arrested Anatoly without a search warrant, and Oliver calls out that he makes exceptions before, they realize it's that he's working with Diaz too. And Oliver just finally decides, let's just cut the BS, and confronts both him and Captain Hill about how they've been in league with Diaz. And they weren't bribed by him, they were blackmailed. Or I guess the DA has a son who needs like didn't have enough who's insurance who needed money for his son's leukemia treatment, and Captain Hill whose father, sister, and niece were put under surveillance, and Diaz threatened to have them killed. And he tried to offer money and protection for both of them, but they just said it's like, we know you're the Green Arrow and you can't stop Diaz. And so Oliver just decides to just promptly fire them, saying that if you're going to work with Diaz, you're not going to work for me. And yet for some reason Captain Hill fires Dinah and any like non-dirty cop left in the department, because apparently you can still do that even though technically she was unemployed at this point, so she had no authority to do that. So now you have and then you have like, one cop who was like having dating Curtis, and how when they were sequestered at some one location because one of the cops was killed by Anatoly when he was released from custody. Apparently one of the other honest cops like ratted them out to Diaz because it's like, he's taking over too much of the city, you can't stop him. So so that cop shoots Curtis, and then Dinah shoots him dead in self-defense, and then they're attacked by Diaz's men, but Curtis and Dinah are able to get everybody out of there, but I guess like Curtis's quote unquote boyfriend sees the Mr. Terrific suit under Curtis's clothes when he's checking his wound, and at first he just had this whole like anti-vigilante attitude, but then his whole experience has made him realize that he's kind of just changing his tune a little bit, and he's still really starting to like Curtis. That's not really a storyline I particularly care for. I'll just say that Dinah is slowly but surely like redeeming herself. Then there's the other thing where Black Siren's just sitting around Quentin's apartment, not doing anything, and asking about where the cops are being hidden, and Quentin, not being an idiot, and rightfully not trusting her, decides like, why don't you do something useful, be the real Laurel Lance, why don't you do something useful, get a job? And she's like, well, I don't think I had a real working job. I don't think I even had made a resume. And then she just gives him all of Laurel's old law books and just try to brush up on that and maintain appearances. And then Diaz comes over and opens up with her and says that it's like, why are you trying to be somebody you're not? Why are you trying to please your old man? Like, I've been there. It's exhausting trying to be something you're not. And it looks like and then it was confirmed in the last scene that it's apparently they have some kind of they're having some kind of fling now, which it was kind of which turned me off entirely. And it turns out that even though of course like Black Siren never obviously gave up the location of the cops, it was her idea to brush. It was her like reading out those law books that she suggested to the corrupt DA that she bring up. That he suggested that she suggested to him, oh, just use the whole like being fired thing as Oliver Queen trying to an obstruction of justice charge against him, which I don't know if he can do it if he can do it directly. I think it has like you figure like, oh, like he should get representation. And I don't know like why like they're saying it's like, oh, Laurel you're having Black Siren suggest the idea to the DA. He's a DA. He should know that. Like it's in his he's the one to law. He's the one who legitimately went to law school. Like this should have been kind of more of a twist, but I think it's just try to be more of a thing where it's just like, oh, they're kind of stringing the audience along and saying, making it look like, oh, is she gonna do the right thing? No, she's gonna do the wrong thing. Except it's probably more half-assed than previous episodes I've seen this season. But I've just given up. I don't care anymore whether I just don't care anymore whether or not they redeem Black Siren. I've just given up all hope. I'm just tired of being strung along. It's just kind of bullcrap to me, and it just is kind of exhausting. Along with this whole this whole fighting among the team being exhausting, and I mean, I guess the thing is, if I had to. I mean, still solid action, still solid acting scenes, but if I were to, and I'd probably give this episode like a 3 out of 5 or something. Just like it's okay, it's not great, but it's just like I feel like this show's really just starting to show its age. I'm just getting tired of all this like fighting and crap. But anyway, what did you guys think? What do you guys think of the episode? What was your favorite part? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.